This is the Gary Vision Indigenous Network, where we keep it real. Changing the way we look at Garifuna is our objective, with thought-provoking conversations with Francois Estrada, the Healthy Corner with Melissa Rock, and of course, the Culture Meets Conversation with Amadi Denzilino. We keep it 100 all the time, Garifuna Suada.
This is GariVision Indigenous Network, where the Garifuna culture thrives. From beautiful Piney by the Sea to Barranco, Georgetown, St. Mike, Hopkins, and the culture capital, Dangriga.
I am Denzel Amadilino, and you're watching Culture Meets Conversation on the GariVision Indigenous Network.
Good evening, and welcome to the GariVision Indigenous Network, where culture meets conversation. And I'm your host, Amadi, and I'd like to introduce you to my co-host, Francois Estrada.
Yes, and Briti Guyon, and good evening. I am Francois Estrada, and of course, this is Culture Meets Conversation right here on GariVision Indigenous Network. But Amadi, we have you have a good one today, and I look forward to us having this discussion.
Yes, Francois. You know, we always try to have a dialogue and try to find the best relatable information to share with our viewers and our people, right? So hopefully that they can perceive the information that we are sharing, imparting with our viewers. And today's session, we want to talk about, we want to continue from last week, how the European influence our women. And we also today want to talk about how the European influence our men and manhood. And we'll show a clip from Dr. Kunjufo. He's a African-American author, and he does what's the career that Dr. Umar Johnson, Francois, he's some type of mental therapist, I believe, right? Mental therapist. So that's what he is, and he's good. And he did a study on the African-American, the Black community. He does study on Black boys, right? About the conspiracy against Black boys, and the viewers will hear some of that finding. So we'll talk about the European influence on our men and our women and our family structure at large, and hence why our family is so broken and displaced.
You know, and but I'm listening to that video. It's very relatable to us as Garifuna people, how we were raised. The majority of what he talked about in these lessons are relatable to us as Garifuna.
Right, indeed. Yes, it is. Because I've the observation that I've made, right? And like I always say, it's that our Garifuna migrated to the US after 1960, after Hurricane Hattie. And not only the fact that they migrated to the US, but America, as we see it now, wants to have that strong, dominant control, that social, political, economic control.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where our Garifuna people here in Belize and Dangriga have adapted the African American lifestyle, and the African American adapted the European lifestyle. So it's just like I said, it's always a imported behavior into Belize. The gang banging, the opposite of gang banging for male, it would be promiscuity, right? A young girl or a female just going out there having sex with men and drinking. That's the opposite of a male person hanging out, partying, drinking, and smoking. Those are the, and that was influence from America. Like I said, I'm thankful that despite the fact that there's some type of prostitution, like type of behavior in our community, I'm glad that it's not open as it is in America and Jamaica and other countries where prostitution is just out there. Belize doesn't have that as yet, which is a good thing, but the behavior and the attitude that they're adapting is going to lead into it, because the female they are prostituting in closed doors, eventually they'll have to make their way out on the street. I'm hoping we don't have to get there. Hence the reason, again, why we're having this conversation,
Yeah, and I had a conversation with an old schoolmate of mine this morning. We were talking about when we were growing up, how because on this video he speaks about the women raising the men, and so my conversation this morning was that a lot of Garifuna women raise the boys, and the boys don't know how to speak the male side of the language because they were raised by the women,
right?
Right. And you know what? It plays a vital role.
It does.
It really does. It really does play. It plays a vital role in the women raising the boys to be boys, because the women don't know how to be boys.
Right.
The women don't know how to be men.
Right.
And understand?
Right. And the sad thing is, friends, so what I've realized as well, observed as well, is that these women are raising the men, raising their sons according to their idea of what a man is. And they're right. Remember what I talk about? Every person's idea is different. When there should be only one man. There's no distinguish between who. You can't get no blurry area who is a man and who is not a man. And again, I'm glad that the author and the video show from a professional point of view, and that what we're saying, Francois, what we've been saying a long time, we are right. We're on the right side of history. I've always admired that about people when I was younger, and I find myself in the same situation where I could tell any Garifuna person in the country of Belize or outside the country of Belize that what we are doing and what we are saying, I am 100% sure that we are on the right side of history. Others who are preaching contrary to what we are saying are on the wrong side of history, and they ought to know that as well.
Yeah, and before we begin this video, I spoke with Dr. Ya this morning, and of course she asked about you, and she says she watches the show every now and then, and so we are on the right track, and we must focus on the children.
Right, definitely, right. And one reason why we are coming to this and we are focused on the children, and why you see that our content, Francois, is kind of tilt a little bit, because you're looking at it from a holistic, right? From whole, and everything is inside that whole is interconnected, right? So again, because we're talking about our economy, our politics, all these fragmentation of the Garifuna people, but I think thanks to Melissa again for hosting, but I know sometimes she's in defense of the woman at times, and that's a good thing, but I have to come against the woman again. I've come to a conclusion that the reason why we are where we are, and I said it before, I guess I'm just reinforcing it again, that one of the main ways that we can get out of this situation, the woman got us in this situation, only the woman can get us out the situation. I can clarify that with anybody what I'm saying, that the woman got us in this situation, and our women can get us out the situation, because our women is holding us hostage for the colonial master. Remember what I said before. She is the one that's holding our hand. She is the snitch, then she is the rat. She's the one that's going to call before anybody else. Right? She's the one that's going to tell all your business to anybody else. The moment you try to be a man and stand up for your rights and stand up for what you believe in, your neighbor, the first person who is going to report you is your own kind. There's no white men in Dangriga that would report you. It's only black people that's going to report you if you try to protect black people. They're the one that's going to tell you it's wrong what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I agree, but then we can't. But then
Yeah.
we really, like we said on our last show, we can't blame the women and we can't blame the men. We have to blame the system, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. And but the thing is, the women need to be educated, because look, the women have a mind, right? She has a mind of her own. Now, let's start from the beginning, right, Francois? Let's say I could be a good guy and I could be a bad guy, right? Now, I'm going to go and start to court this woman, right? Now, there's only two ways for this to for her. There's only one way. She's not responsible for her actions. If I as a man would force her to do something that she didn't want to do. Most women enter into relationship on their free will. That was their decision. Again, like I said, if I'm a good guy or I'm a bad guy, if I'm the bad man, I'm a bad guy, and a woman decides to date me, that is her decision, and whatever comes out of the relationship, she has to take accountability, because she's the one that dated me and gave me all the okay to go ahead and do what I wanted to do. Later on, she decided, you know what, this is not going to work. Then you change your mind, then you try again with another man, right? And then you might even try again with another man. Sometimes you might even want to say, Albert Einstein say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And I can reference this in dating, that women might be considered insane because they're doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a commitment or a marriage, and they don't get the same result. They're getting the same result, failure after failure after failure. That's insanity. They're the one have to change, Francois. You can't have 10 boyfriends or 10 men and say the 10 men are the problem. You follow me? I can't have 10 women in my life. And I said, man, all 10 of them was crazy. No, I'm the one that's crazy, not them.
Right. Okay, well, I think we should get into this this video.
Let's do it.
And now, here is Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu with his penetrating presentation of countering the conspiracy to destroy black boys.
There's no topic that concerns me more than the one on the conspiracy to destroy black boys. And the reason is when our little boys are in preschool and primary grades, they're very innocent and very enthusiastic about learning. But something happens to that, and we need to find out what that is. My younger son is on the cover of this particular book, and I would like for him to grow up to be a man. Like many of you already told me, that you have sons and male students as well. Now, there's two parts of the conspiracy, volume 1, and this is volume 2. In volume 1, we raised 4 questions. First question is, when did the conspiracy start? Who is against black boys? Why is there a conspiracy against them? And what exactly is the conspiracy? That's in volume 1. In volume 2, we look at the relationships between mothers and their sons, That must be studied. We also must look at female teachers and black male students. That must also be studied. We must look at some case studies. In other words, many of us are doing a very good job developing black boys to be men. What is it that some of us are doing that others are not doing? And then last but not least, a program called the Rites of Passage into Manhood. See, it used to be we knew when black boys became men, but now many of us don't know when we're men. It's how much reefer we smoke, how much wine we drink, how many babies we make. Until black men spell it out to black boys what it means to be a man, this conspiracy will continue.
Yeah, it's been continuing for a very long time.
Yeah, and what did you see what he was saying, Francois, about the conspiracy against? Remember even when we talk about religion, right? The easiest way to convert somebody or to get somebody to believe something is to get them when they are young. They do not ask too many questions. They can easily believe. Mm-hmm. So again, the conspiracy starts from a young age. But
absolutely,
the secret is our majority, both men and women, black men, black women, they are not being vigilant enough, Francois. They're not being vigilant enough of what's actually taking place in the social fabric or the social structure of their community or in their country, and how that affects their children, how it affects their family in the long run. Again, we go, yeah.
And I would say that our parents, they weren't aware, because my parents didn't talk to me about these type of things. Did your parents talk to you about these type of things?
No, it didn't.
And I don't know any girlfriend parent. I don't know any girlfriend person my age who would say that their parents spoke to them about these type of things.
No,
So our parents, they weren't aware.
Right, and that's why this is something that has to be a movement, a collective, and it doesn't have to be everybody, but it need the mass of the people to get aware, because
of course
we are way far back on knowledge and information just to see anything meaningful change with our people.
Yeah.
Too much. Remember, man, the mind, right? Because it's funny that I made a post the other day about religion, right? And it's funny that we can still hold a religious debate today. Religion is dead to me. There's no debate anymore. That's over with. That's over 2,000 years ago. What are you doing still debating religion, right? So I'm like, I don't need to entertain anybody on religion. That's over with for me. That's dead and gone. That's just a imagination you're working with now, right? But
right.
So these are deep held belief. I was just watching an Instagram video about a guy, these Muslim guys go on the street in England and talk to people, and he's talking to a guy who's a Christian, and he's trying to explain to this white man, how is it coherent that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, right, are one person, when he just says there are three persons, right? So again, I can see that the man, he's already made up his mind that this is what he was taught, that it doesn't matter. He says that the only reason it's coherent for three persons to be one is because God said it, or the Bible said it. That's it. Now, for adult, Francois, I'll say this for you, right? And I did this before, and I hope that our video reach more people later on in the future, because to me it's very important when it comes to religion, right? I did this before. I confessed to this before while I was a Christian, a very
devoted.
Was that?
Devoted.
Right. A very devoted Christian at that time. And I noticed how people were so gullible when it comes to Christian. And my mind, I guess maybe our viewers who follow me, where I get to know my personality, you know what, let me test out this guy to see if this God thing really works. And I did it more than one time, right? And I come to this guy and I say, man, my brother, I had a good dream, man. I had a dream, man. I'm telling you, man, it's like the Holy Spirit. This is a lie, you know. But this guy, eye lit up, right? His eyes lit up. I told him last night, God spoke to me, and he said that you're going to be blessed, man. You are doing a good thing. And when I finished telling him all that, I asked him to lend me $20, and it worked, right? It always works. You can go to, once somebody is religious, you can manipulate the mind because they're not dealing with logic. They're not dealing with logic anymore. It's no common sense. All you have to do is touch that person feeling. That's what religion is about, feeling. As long as you could touch that person emotion, they will respond, but they respond with their own human emotion. Nothing to do with spirituality, but they don't realize that their emotion, they're misconstruing their emotional feeling with a spiritual feeling, right? It's just an emotion. It's nothing about spirituality, right? Spirituality, I think, is even beyond feelings, right? It goes, it's more divine, it's supernatural. You can't explain spirituality. It just happened, at least in my understanding, you know, how I would want to believe spirituality to be. It's not easily manipulated by just a few words, you know, like I just explained. So I don't know if you want to have any other video you want to share so we could talk about.
No, let's get back to this video that we just watched. He said, when did it start? When did it start? It said, and you said it started when from they were young, right? And why did they do it?
Well, you know, Dr. Kressner, she talks about, there's many professional blacks that did this study, you know, and she come up with the idea of the annihilation of blacks because of the white minority, right? You remember, I think that you're familiar that she believes that the European, the white people are a minority on the earth, and that they are basically fighting for survival, and that's why they control the African continent, who comes in and who comes out, Central America, any country that is non-white, they control who goes in and who comes out. Countries that is white, they get more free pass, right? Like if you see British, Australia, Canada, they exchange visa, passport. They don't treat us like the way they treat countries of color, right? You hardly hear British people getting visa denied, and like you hear other people of color get denied compared to European countries. So this is all a preservation of the white race, according to her, and that's my personal, I have come to agree with that as well, because it makes sense, it makes logical sense, and there's evidence to support it by the actions of the white European race. What they're doing, they're literally trying to take control and preserve their race. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, Brother Marty, can we roll back this video from the beginning? So because I know there's a few pointers that I'm missing from this video, but if we can roll it back, just a little bit, so I can hear what he says, and then we'll get back into this discussion.
Volume 1, and this is Volume 2. In Volume 1, we raised 4 questions. First question is, when did the conspiracy start?
Okay.
Who is against black boys?
Who's against black
Why
boys?
is there a conspiracy against them? And what exactly is the conspiracy? That's in Volume 1. In Volume 2, we look at the relationships between mothers.
So when we touch when, and who is responsible for this conspiracy?
But you will look at, again, what I'm seeing is that he's talking about the schools, right? In the school, he's talking about female teachers raising male children, raising boys. I believe that he's suggesting as well that this also weakens the maleness of a boy, because he's raised by a single mother, all day. He goes to school. He's raised by a female school teacher. He keeps running into female authority. So it's kind of sending a message or a mixed message about his masculinity because he's always looking up to women.
Yeah, but
Right.
my question to you is who was responsible for this? Is it the system?
Oh well, yeah, of course the system is the one who write the education, write the books, write the what goes into what you're gonna learn and what you're not gonna learn, right? That's what the
Okay.
system does.
Okay,
It's a
and
failed
why?
system.
And why?
But that's to keep look, it's to keep control. Let's if we reverse the role, right?
Mhm.
And I want to keep white people down. Give them the poorest education, put them in the poorest community with lack of resources, lack of jobs,
Mhm.
right? Give women preferential treatment and call it equality and women's rights, so you could keep the man down, right? And if they are right, and you make sure you have enough police in the community so that the moment any white man think about even try to, just like what you and me we are doing, we can go and send a police officer and shut him up. You can reverse the role and you will see why it makes sense. To me, that's why I say if I want to keep our people down, I would do exactly what the white power structure is doing today. It's designed to keep you down. The
Mhm.
only thing why black people are making it is because and it's so slow because from the inception of time have always been only a handful of black people working towards progress. Imagine if we could have only kept the masses of the people, right? There's never been a time where the black people unite all in one. It's always piecemeal. Right, you got the civil rights movement. It was a few. You got the Nation of Islam. It was a few. You got the Black Panther. It was Marcus Garvey. It's never a whole thing, right?
You know what? And hence the reason why they all wanted to reach the youths, right? Because the old heads are just too hard. You know,
Right.
if you want to change the system, you have to change the system starting with the young ones.
Right. But once you see the thing is too, it's like with a child, right? There's a saying, you cannot unring a bell. Once you already ring that bell, you can't take it back. So it's like this, when you already have a child, and let's say, for example, the child doesn't know anything about ghosts, spirit, angel, fear, the child doesn't know anything about that. You can train that child from he's young and you tell him, look, an iguana is dangerous, don't touch it, it's gonna poison you or whatever. And that child will grow up never wanting to touch it, even if somebody else come and says it's fine, it won't hurt you. I'm not touching. You follow me?
Yeah, you know what? And yeah, and hence the reason why we should focus more on the youth, because the
Right.
people our age, their heads are already set, their minds are already made up that this is the way it is. We already been indoctrinated. We already been taught about. We already believe in certain religion. We believe in certain politics. So we are already indoctrinated. We are already gone, right?
Right.
So that's why I keep on saying we have to start with the children now. But I always ask you this question: how can the parents start retrain the children when they don't know? You
Well,
know?
again, my thing is, right? Let's say you got the Maya people, you got the Garifuna people, you got the Mennonites people. It's like a house. It's a house. It's a building. It's falling apart. It's broken down, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a meeting. We'll discuss the damage, and we'll figure out how we're going to repair it, right? Once we decide how we're going to repair it, we're going to start where we're going to start from. So let's use this in our situation with our people. A group, an organization. I'll use like a National Garifuna Council, right?
Mm-hmm.
They see that the family unit of the Garifuna people are broken. They can see that not many of the children are speaking their language. They can see that not many opportunities are in the community. Now they can easily say, well,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna from standard 6, first form, second form, which is 8th grade, 9th grade, and 10th grade. we're gonna have classes for family planning, teaching young girls how to be wives and not just girlfriend, right? And that has to be ingrained because it's not optional where you have to get up and make breakfast. Today, women get up, it's optional where they have to feed their own kids. I'll tell you, it's the truth, right? Whether the woman is optional, whether women have to cook for the day with children. It shouldn't be optional. Men, you have to cook, you have children, you have to eat. What are you doing?
Yeah,
right?
but then
So these things have to be retrained. Go ahead, sorry. Yeah.
I'm saying if the woman is working and she won't have time to cook in the morning, then that's a different beast.
Well, I'll tell you, to me, I recall my mother, she would cook on Sundays, right?
Right.
It would last until Tuesday, at least Tuesday, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then again cook Wednesday again, and Thursday, Friday, and back to weekend. So again, she would always find time to cook.
Yeah,
right?
but then our parents didn't have social media, didn't have cell phone, they didn't have internet, they didn't have TV, so they had all this time, right?
Right, you're piss me off now, because let me tell you what I said this to women before, and I think I said it before. I say, look, I remember, right, growing up, my aunt get up in the morning, knead flour, let's get firewood, even bust the firewood and light the fire, make the breakfast on fire with the smoke all in the kitchen. About 9 o'clock, start to do laundry, right? Hand wash laundry, no washing machine. About 10 o'clock, start to cook for 12 o'clock, 2 hours, right? You'll cook by 12 o'clock, she cook. About 12 to 1 or 2 o'clock, watch the little soap opera. Remember they used to watch their soap opera?
One Life to Live.
Yeah, 2 Days for a Life and all that stuff, right? Then they will go outside and pick in the clothes about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. The clothes dry by then, right? Then about 4 o'clock, start to make tea for the evening for supper.
Right. That's
a full day. 2 hours to watch TV. All day you're busy. Women today don't like to be busy, man. I'm telling you, they call it slave. They call it slavery. To clean their own house, to cook their own food, they still think it's slavery. I'm telling you, we need to train. Look, this needs to be trained to young girls, Francois, that this is not something wrong. This is not something immoral. This is not something taking advantage of you. This is not subjecting you to less than a woman. That is the information women have, that if you become a wife, it is unattractive. It is not the trend. Wives are not the trend today. It's just single parent is the trend. You date, have kids, break up, and you move on. That's the trend. Women have not been taught to keep a relationship or stay in a committed relationship. They are taught, if you don't like it, move on. Is it true?
Yeah.
Well, don't work it out. Don't try to work. If you don't like it, move on and go to somebody else.
You know, Brother Marty, and I will always say, you know what, and men are the same, because believe me, I know a lot of men who feel the same way. Oh man, you know what, man, I ain't gonna waste my time, man. It's time to move on, right? I know a lot of men like that too. I know a lot of men. Anyways, let's take a commercial break, and then we will come back and talk some more about this topic. Okay. That background music you hear, that's coming up from my upcoming album coming out soon. And make sure you tune in and check it out. You can check my music out at Bandcamp, indigenouslove.com, or you can look it up and at Amazon Prime Music, Jukebox, Bandcamp, iTunes. Yeah, it's available on almost all the platforms on the Francois, the smoother side. So check it out, and I would appreciate if you can order a copy. But it's very good music, and please check it out. Amadi?
Yeah, Francois. Yeah, so yeah, man. And again, I don't wanna I don't wanna sound like I'm bashing on women and all of this, like I said, I'm only speaking at least what I believe is the truth. And I don't wanna be, and again, I can talk about men too and everything, Francois, because this show is about male and manhood, but it's hard to chastise men then when their hands are tied. Then that's the thing. See, I would like to chastise and go toward men, but to me, I don't see men holding any power in the household, because again, I see men as weak. Because the only time a man could really be a man if he's single is the moment you live with a woman. You have to, quote, unless that she would respect you or respect the man as a man, but majority of women don't respect men as men today. They want to equal themselves with man and size up, like, literally size up with a man that, look, this is a 50-50 thing, or I don't know what 50-50 mean. I could lift more than you. I could work harder. How is it going to be 50-50 and I strong? I don't know.
And you know what? And unfortunately, most of my relationships that I've been in were just like that. Women control, right?
Yeah. And I don't 50-50, Francois. I don't look at, when somebody says 50-50, why I find 50-50 unattractive. It sounds like you're keeping score. And I can't be in a relationship where you're keeping score of what I do and what you do. Because I don't keep score of what I'm doing. It's life. We're together. Why the hell I need to keep count of everything I do to you in order for me to say, well, it's 50-50?
Well, you know what, Amadi? Right now, at this juncture in my life, my wife knows that I'm real. That I would do whatever it takes to keep this ship afloat, and I'm not keeping score. She's not keeping score, and I'm so at this juncture in my life, I'm good, right?
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about. And I don't have to worry about, oh man, nah, I don't have to worry about anything right now. So I'm good.
Yeah. So yeah, and again, because I try to find, well, the only thing now is that for men, right? For men for us to teach young boys to be men, right? Teach young girls to be women. Now, according to the video, I hope that maybe you might show that part when there's a part where he explained that we would have to redefine what manhood is and redefine what womanhood is, because there's a section where he talks about what Black women want, and he reinforced what I said. It just happened that he said that what he says that Black woman want is a black man in a white
European. Right.
In a good job, taking it for vacation, and that is what she viewed as success, and that is not success, because he said he was in the same situation that I am. Look, this guy said exactly what I said, Francois, about relationship when it comes to commitment, loyalty, and finance in a relationship. And a lot of women, and I hope a lot of women would agree, when it comes to finance and relationship, it gets real conflicting.
Yeah, you know what you said earlier, that we need to teach the girls how to be women, but how can the women today teach the young girls how to be women when they never have a clue? How can the men teach the boys how to be men when the men today don't have a clue?
Right.
The men today don't even know what manhood is.
Right. And well, the thing is, it's not only men who think about it like this. If we're going to raise up boys to be men, what type of men are they going to be? Are they going to be Chinese men, Indian men, or are they going to be Garifuna men?
Mm-hmm.
There are difference, right? You just can't say we're gonna raise them to be men. Men, what kind of men?
Right. No, I
Right?
understand. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they have to be Garifuna men. We have to raise them
Right.
to be Garifuna women. They are Garifuna. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, that's what we've been saying again. Hopefully our show will reveal that our women, our men, and our children are not who they are. They are not acting and behaving, not even the belief, the principles and the value of who they are. They are not exercising who they are as a person. They are exercising somebody else's identity.
Mm-hmm. There's a point in the video where he spoke about the rites of passage. I mean,
Right.
Garifuna men today, what would be the rites of passage that we can teach to our boys today? Hmm?
Yeah. Well, you know what? And I would think, Francois, this is not Garifuna, but this is what I read about indigenous people, right?
Right.
One, I know that when a Garifuna boy become of age, he automatically gets land. However, I want to say that in certain indigenous community, in order to be a man and if to be an eligible man, suitable for marriage, the minimum you have to have 10 acres of land. You have to know how to work the land. In the case of a Garifuna being a man, you at least have to know how to fishing. You at least have to know how to farm.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not fishing and farming, you do business. You could do craft. You could do business. I mean, there's music. There's Garifuna people, Francois, have exactly the same thing any other nation have in America. America have music, art. They have economic system. Whatever other country have, Garifuna people have. All Garifuna people need to do is work on it and develop their own institutions. That's all, because we're equal as anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I've always believed that we can do whatever we want to do, whatever we put our minds to do, we can do. If we want to change the dynamics, we can. If we want to change the mindset, we can. If we want to change whatever we want to change, we can do it. Mm-hmm. We can do it, but we just have to come together and have a plan, right? And have a plan, because we can do it. But let's go back into the other part of this video, because time is the essence here, and then we'll talk more about it. But let's go into this video.
The first thing that men are taught to do is not to cry. I'm quoting from their own Goldberg. The book is called The Hazards of Being a Male. The tremendous pressure when you're so small trying to control so much. The first thing that men are taught to do is not to cry. Think about it. Ever seen Ronald Reagan cry? John Wayne cry? They died with their boots on. They died in their saddles. They died like men. Now, any psychologist will tell you that crying may avoid suicide later. But as a result of European men not crying, European men commit suicide more than anybody else. Black men who want so much to be like European men are very close second. European women are third, and the most sane person in America, she don't make no money, but stay close to God and her children and cry. Black women commit suicide less than anybody else.
I remember my son said once, they said, my mom said that black boys not supposed to cry. And I didn't want to sound harsh, but I said, you know what, tell your mom that I said she's crazy, because the Most High put tears in our eyes for us to cry. So if we have tears in our eyes, it's because it's there for a reason. When you cry, it's a release, right? And a lot of young boys today in this generation still believe that boys not supposed to cry. Amadi, you there?
I even shared a post, Francois, about I think the guy from Silgrass, Avid or something, he posts that he goes around and talk to children, and he was talking about religion, right? He was using religion, and even when it comes to religion, when it comes to religion and Christianity, I'm against, because a lot of people, Francois, people equate, this is the deception, you know, that anything you do good is God, anything you do bad is devil. And it's just a make-up word, you know. I mean, well, how come that cannot be so logical? That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, this is what I'm trying to, this is why I am against the idea of this Christian God, because they make a grave mistake to define this God as all-knowing, omnipresent, everywhere. And I'll tell you how it affected me as a boyfriend. So, and I think maybe I can. Let's say when I was about 7, 8 years old, right? And you go into a store and you're in the store by yourself, and now you want to use some candy or something, and you want to steal the candy, right? But you know that even though there's nobody in the store and nobody there, somebody had told you that God is watching you, right? Right? God is watching you, and
Right.
I think that is frightening for a little boy or a little girl to have an idea, an imagination that some unseen being is watching you even in your most private moments. Those were the times I find offended being a God, especially when you become an adult. This is not right for God to be seeing what I'm doing. This is not cool, right? So common sense adult know that, right? That even the priest know when he is molesting the child, God is watching. He cannot possibly believe it. So this is why I'm against Christianity, like I said, because Christianity teaches lie off the top. I continue to say it teaches children and it teaches people how to lie, just like America. It's a lie that has to be repeated over and over forever. You cannot say the truth, because if you say the truth, Christianity flop. I want to ask many people, Francois, even our viewers right now, if you take away Christianity, let's say evaporate off the planet, what would you be? You think you're going to hell? The world will come to an end? The world will continue without Christianity, Jesus, God. Somebody might just jump on to Buddha, Muhammad, Confucius, they'll jump to another religion. You know?
Yeah. Well, let's get back to this discussion.
But anyway, you know, sometimes I get when it comes to belief and you know, it's just that's what brought us into knowing what's good, what the difference between good and right. So I have to bring in, you know, everything is interconnected.
Right. Well, the last part of this video, I said I was going to write it down, but I didn't write it down, and I kind of forgot what he was talking about. The last, he said, he said, he said that the black women, they commit suicides the least because they cry, right?
Yeah.
So he said the Caucasian men, they don't cry because men are not supposed to cry. So they are the number one who commit suicide.
Yeah.
Because they don't cry. Because imagine you are angry and you're holding in your emotions, right? So you don't let it go, you don't release.
Right.
So you hold this anger on for a long time, and then you just explode and you do something ridiculous. He said black women, they cry.
Right.
So they are the least ones to commit suicide.
Right.
So now it's obvious then that the tears are good.
Yeah. Tear is a sedative, right? Like aspirin, right?
Yeah.
It soothes the pain. That's why you cry.
Yeah.
Right?
So
That's the soothe, that soothes the pain. When you cry, the pain, it eases the pain when you cry. And then you hold that in, like you said. And again, we even mentioned when the way how people were, some were criticized, the way my approach at speaking, it might sound aggressive, it might sound rough, and all of these things. And I often say, you know what? Remember last week we talked about who defined what's appropriate behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Francois, I think again, man, if we rely so much, because remember, I think we were lied to about so many things, you know, even words you have to look up and play around with, where even the words are deceptive, right? So
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so for us to have a conversation with people, it's gonna have to be, I think it's only have to be something like how the Jewish people, the Israel do it when they left from Poland and went to Israel. They had a strong, Francois, go look at it's on YouTube, where they went to Ethiopia and got some of the I forgot the title, one of the oldest original Jewish people. They were the ones who have to come to Israel and help translate and help give them knowledge about Jewish history, because they was in Poland and Europe. They didn't know they had to get that from the Ethiopians and the better tribe, and still treat them bad.
You know what? And it's the same thing with us as Garinago. We don't know our history, so how can we teach our children certain aspect of our culture, certain aspect of our heritage when we don't know, right? So now, where do we go now? Where can we go to learn our culture, our history? Where can we go now? Because
well, I'll tell you. To me, right, when I think about it, and our leaders know, you know, they have it in NGC memorandum that they should go to, in the Dutch, they have records of early records of getting encounter with the Garifuna people. France, they have records of encounter with the Garifuna people, and the British. Right. They have, we just need to find it, right? They have, we just don't have serious or enough researchers, and that's not only doing a research, but doing a research to heal and fix some people. They're doing their research, but they're not doing the research to write a book. They're not doing the research to heal a people.
Right. I know an individual who has a PhD, and she goes to Europe and Spain and Africa, but she doesn't go to look for what I believe is important. Look for traits of our existence. That's what I would do. You know, that's what I would do if I was to go to Africa. I would go look for my roots.
Yeah, you know, did you hear that side note, right? Did you hear when Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather, right? They went to Africa. So they say after Mike, I hope you heard it too, right? So when Mike Tyson went on the stage, right? Amongst the Africans, this is beautiful to me, but among the Africans, they're all trying to decide which tribe he's from based for the feature of his head, his height. They're like, no, I think he's, you know, they're trying to say, man, he must be one of the tribe, because think about it. You go to Africa, I go to Africa, they look at you and me and they look at it like, you probably, you know what I mean? They could probably, that's amazing, right?
Man, listen, when I went to Africa, I was looking at everybody. I was like, man, he looked like Serrano. He looked like Mendes. He looked like Flores, right?
And somebody related.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought that was a beautiful thing, man, you know. Going back to I don't know, I always feel like I think that, I don't know, man, for some Black people, anybody who ever touch African continent, possibly go to, again, especially in touch with their roots, there should be some type of emotional feeling going back, and because you've been there, but man, never touched the African continent ever since the 1500. My ancestors were stolen, man. I must stow away. I'm stranded on this side of the continent. I belong on the other side. I don't belong here.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Even when you go to St. Vincent, I look around and say, golly, this one look like my cousin Nadangriga, right? Because we all look alike. Africa, St. Vincent, wherever.
And those DNA our DNA run a long way.
Yeah. No, but you said that 1500 you were stolen from Africa, but you know what? We were already in the Caribbean before they started to steal the
Some
Africans.
of our brothers and sisters were stolen. Yeah, we were already.
Yeah.
But I'm relating it. I'm just relating it to the colonization of our people.
Right. No, I hear you, but you know what? Words mean a lot, right?
Yeah, definitely, man. I tell you so. I think, and I said this before, the only way I think to repair Garifuna people is to come back as a small. Let's use a hypothetical, right? The Belize government would give the Garifuna people, I don't know, it could be 3, 5, or 7 years, right? Just leave them in their community until they can restore themselves. No outsiders. They're doing their own thing. You go to school, Garifuna come. You go to church, everything Garifuna for 5 to 7 years. Just give us that opportunity, and then we'll start invite and do things back. But I think that's something we need. That's what Israel did. Israel had, when they left Poland and they went to Israel, they had session, they had class. Everybody had to learn that language. The Hebrew alphabet. Speak what you call Yiddish, right? Everybody had to learn that. When you go there now, they wasn't originally speaking Hebrew when they was in Europe. They were speaking another language until they came to Israel, when they created Israel. That's when they learned in 1948. What I'm saying is that Garifuna people, every Garifuna children and adult, if they are serious, can learn their language, just like how Israel made it an effort to make sure every woman, child learn Hebrew in 1948.
But I might just take a look at the Mennonites right there in Belize, right?
Yeah.
They don't have television, they don't have radios, and they all speak the language. I've always said, you know what? Garifuna, we always talk about Albo Amorunu, but it's all talk. Now, the Mennonites, they are living Albo Amorunu, right? Yeah. They are living it. They're not just talking it, they are living it. While every November 19th, I hear, Albo Amorunu, that's the way we used to be. Yeah. Meha, that's the way we used to be, but we're not Albo Amorunu right now, because Albo Amorunu means me for you or you for me, right? So if I see you struggling, I pick you up. If you see me struggling, you pick me up. But Albo Amorunu doesn't exist within the Garifuna communities, and it's not going to exist anymore because it's dead.
Right, because it's been replaced, right? Because remember now, Garifuna family institution is family-based. European family institution is single unit, right? It's like I said, husband, wife, and children, no extended family.
Right.
Again, as a result of where we are, it's because we are what you just said, we have adopted a culture that is not ours. We are, Garifuna people are Abo Amorunu. Garifuna people are behaving, right, inappropriately as European people, meaning individualism. That is not Garifuna. You are acting out of your identity. You are not European. You are not white. You could think it all you want. You could try all you want. You will never be white. And most of all, you will never be accepted as white. Again, I'll say it like I said the last time with the guy from Coming to America said, man, get it in your greasy head. You follow me? They will not accept you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get through.
And we can't continue to be second class Creole or second class Spanish or second class British when we are first class Garifuna? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to be a second class Creole or a second class Spanish or a second class British when you are first class Garifuna, man? You are first class Garifuna. Anyways, brother Martin, listen, we at the end of this show, as usual, this was a great topic. You know, we should teach our young boys that crying is not bad. Crying is healthy.
Right.
You know, we should teach our young boys the rites of passage. We should teach all
Right.
the young girls the rites of passage. I know you always with your daughter and your son, and I know you're doing what's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Well, I always that's my job, man. I have to do the right thing. But
Yeah.
So I agree. But in closing, remember when we say raising our boys to be men, we are saying raising them to be Garifuna men. And a boy, according to Kunjufu, a boy cannot be a man without being taught how to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
And a girl cannot be a woman without being taught to be a woman. All it would be is just an adult male who is a man, who we call a man, and an adult female who we call a woman. But they're not acting as manhood and womanhood. So again, we have to come up with a definition of how he redefined what manhood is.
Yeah, I agree. But in closing, again, the music that you hear on this show is music that I released already or upcoming album. But if you want to check out my music, feel free to go to Bandcamp, BandCamp.com, Bandcamp.com, or iTunes, Amazon Prime Music, or wherever you stream your music, you can find my music there. Bandcamp, iTunes, Amazon Prime Music, wherever you stream your music, you can find Francois the Smoother Side. So please, again, check it out, Bandcamp.com, wherever you stream your music, Francois the Smoother Side. But Amadi, anything you want to say before we close?
Yeah, Francois. I've always want to thank our viewers and remind them again to share our content, and don't forget to subscribe, like it, especially if you do find it helpful to you, and try to see if we're asking our viewers to tell a friend, right, and have them subscribe to our channel and explain what the content and what you got out of this content, so we can get your support. And with that, much love and appreciation, man. Love you guys.
But Amadi, there's a viewer, real life stories media 3772. He said he just found out that he's Garifuna, and he wants to know, how do I learn the language? Man, listen, you can subscribe here to this channel, and we will guide you in the right place where you can go to learn the language. There's a lot of places that have online classes that we would love to guide you to these places so you can learn the language. He says, he spent a lot of time in Ghana and saw people who look just like him. Yeah. I know. When I went to Africa as well, man, I saw people who look just like me, just like my people. So we're all one, man. We're all one. But listen, subscribe to this channel, and you can send me a message whenever you have the time, and then we will guide you in the right place where to sign up for these classes. But until then, we will say peace and blessings. Ayo. And until Thursday, be kind, be safe, and be at peace.